The alien scout ship floated above Earth's orbit. It was sleek, silver, and built for quiet observation. Inside, Commander Trell stood tall, arms crossed behind his back, and stared at the blue planet on the screen. "Status?" he asked, voice calm and certain. Lieutenant Rek, younger and more eager, tapped his glowing control panel. After a few seconds, the scan finished. The screen showed the results in red alien text. "No defense systems detected," Rek said with a grin. "No energy shields, no orbital weapons, no active fleets." Commander Trell laughed softly. "So, the rumors were true. The humans are still primitive." Rek added, "Their technology is old. Fossil fuels, crude metals. They don't even control their own moon properly." Trell nodded. "And this will be easy. The Council will be pleased." The scout ship sent the report back to the Galactic Union. Dozens of high-ranking alien leaders read the data and smiled. Earth was open, a fresh, untouched world, full of resources. And weak dot in the council hall, voices echoed. "No fleet? No shields? No reason to wait. Let us take it." One voice, however, spoke carefully. "They destroyed a war probe 50 years ago. That weapon didn't miss." Another leader shook his head. "That was luck. Look at the scans. They are farmers. Builders, not warriors. Back near Earth, the scout ship began its second sweep. Still, no signs of power. No deep core energy. No large shipyards. No cloaked vessels. Just satellites, weather systems, and noise. But what they didn't see was what lay far beneath the surface. On Earth, in a deep underground room hidden beneath Antarctica, red lights flashed silently. A human general stood still in front of a black screen. The message from space had arrived. It was short, direct, there. Scanning again, third time. He turned to his staff. "Phase 2 begins. Wake the system." The engineers moved fast. Their hands danced over old keyboards and advanced holograms. The room buzzed with energy. Somewhere, in the darkness of space, silent machines stirred. One officer, young and curious, asked, "Why don't we respond?" The general's voice was low and sharp. "Because they're watching for noise. We give them silence." The officer nodded and returned to work. In the silence of space, Earth remained quiet. Too quiet. Back in orbit, the alien scout ship began transmitting a message to the Galactic Fleet. Commander Trell said, "Prepare the landing plans. We will send one cruiser to test their response." But even as he spoke, the ship's systems flickered. "Wait. What was that?" Rek asked. "What do you mean?" I saw a flicker on the long-range sensors. Something moved." Commander Trell frowned. "Could be a rock. Ignore it." But it wasn't a rock. It was something else. Something massive. Far. Beyond Pluto, in the dark, cold shadows of space, a crack formed in the void. Not a normal crack, but a ripple. Like space itself was peeling. Out of it came a shape. Silent. Dark. Longer than 3 cities. His ship. Not alien. Not known. Human. It didn't have bright lights. It didn't broadcast signals. It just glided forward, cold, calm, ready. Behind it. Another ripple. Then another ship. And another. Soon, a fleet of them. Hidden until now. Back on Earth, deep underground, the general received the update. "Void Gate Alpha is open," said a technician. "First wave is through. They're in position." The general smiled. No one sees Earth's fangs until it bites. Meanwhile, the alien fleet still thought they were winning. Celebrations began. Plans to land. Plans to divide Earth. Plans to enslave, rule, and profit. Commander Trell raised a glass in his ship's small chamber. "To the easiest conquest of our careers." He had no idea what was coming. Outside his window, stars shined brightly. But in just a few days, the stars would disappear, not because they would dim, but because Earth's ships would block them out. And when they came, they would come without mercy. Because Earth had been waiting. Asterisk, a calm voice echoed through the chamber. Of the Galactic Union flagship, incoming message from Earth. The alien council paused. Some looked curious, others bored. Play it, said High Commander Val Rax. The message came in the form of a video. A human man stood in front of a dark wall. No background, no flag, just his voice. To those watching, U.S. from orbit, we know you're there. You have scanned our world 3 times. You think we are weak. You believe we are unarmed. Leave now. This is your only warning. Then the screen with black dot silence followed. Then laughter. Loud and sharp. Is that it? One alien officer smirked. A bluff? No show of power? No fleet on screen? Another said, they really are primitives. Velrax sneered. Their best threat is a speech? Some on the council laughed so hard they couldn't speak. One even clapped. Oh, that was adorable. They didn't notice that no location had been shared. No signal code. Nothing traceable. The humans had sent a warning, but they hadn't sent it from Earth. It came from somewhere else, somewhere hidden. On Earth. Inside a dark control center, the man who had spoken sat down quietly. Message delivered. The technician confirmed. General Rourke nodded. Good. Now we wait. If they listen, no one dies. And if they don't? Asked a younger officer. Rourke looked at her. His voice was like steel. Then they'll learn why Earth stayed silent for so long. Up in space, the Galactic Fleet prepared for a show of power. Commander Trell watched the screen from his ship and said, deploy a cruiser, low orbit. Let's give them a scare. A sleek alien war cruiser descended slowly toward Earth's upper atmosphere. Its engines glowed red. Its weapons were charged, just in case. Civilians on Earth saw it, a faint line in the sky. Some panicked. Others stood frozen, but still. No military response. From space, it looked like fear. But in truth, Earth was quiet because it was watching. Inside the alien cruiser, Commander Rollick chuckled. They still do nothing. Maybe their warning was just noise, said his pilot. Then. Their radar blinked. Just once. Then again. And then again. Rollick's smile faded. What is that? The pilot zoomed in. Something's coming from below fast. Too fast. Blue streak of light shot up from the ground. It didn't scream. It didn't make noise. It hit. One precise shot, clean, silent. The alien cruiser's engine exploded. Systems failed. Lights went dark. Before the crew could scream, they were falling. Falling fast. Rollick barely managed a signal. We've been... The feed cut out. From above, Commander Trell watched the crash. His mouth fell open. Did they just shoot us down? Silence answered. And the worst part, the humans didn't say a word. No broadcast. No threat. No celebration. Just silence, like it never happened. In deep space, more of Earth's hidden fleet moved into position. The Erebus, Earth's most powerful stealth carrier, glided behind an asteroid field. Its captain, a woman named Dahlia Vorn, checked the radar. Alien cruiser destroyed. Target neutralized in one shot. The crew stayed silent. She nodded. No? Follow-up required. Return to Ghost Protocol. Her ship vanished back into the shadows. In the Galactic Fleet, fear began to creep in. Commander Trell called the council. They took out one of ours in under 10 seconds. Vale Rax frowned. You said they were defenseless. They appeared defenseless. Are you saying you are wrong? Trell didn't answer, because in that moment, Every alien officer began to feel it. This wasn't just a mistake, it was a trap, and they had walked right into it. On Earth, General Rourke watched the news feed. Reporters were guessing. Theories flew everywhere. Was it a meteor? A satellite? A rogue drone? None of them knew the truth, but Rourke didn't correct them. He turned to his officer. Begin next phase. What should we call it? Rourke smiled. Silence protocol. From the shadows, Earth had just spoken, not with words, not with fire, but with a simple message. You are being watched. You are not welcome. And the galaxy had just laughed at the wrong species. Asterisk, the alien fleet floated in perfect formation above Earth. Cold, confident, ready. But far beyond them, in the dark corners of space where no light touched, something began to move. Not fast, not loud, but with purpose. Like a sleeping beast opening its eyes. Captain Dahlia Vorn sat inside the bridge of the Erebus, Earth's most secret warship. No one outside the planet even knew her name. No one outside the planet even knew the Erebus existed. And now it was fully awake. Status? She asked calmly. Her officer replied, We are cloaked. The alien fleet doesn't see us, but we see them. All 47 ships. Dahlia stared at the screen. Her voice didn't shake. Then it's time. She touched a panel on her chair. Across the solar system, rips in space began to shimmer. Void gates. Gates. That should not exist. Gates built in secret. Gates powered by old science and even older warnings. From these dark doors, Earth's hidden fleet emerged silent. Titans wrapped in shadow. 1.2, 5, 10. More. Each ship darker than the stars around. Each one silent, but deadly. On the alien fleet's sensors, nothing. They still thought. Earth was defenseless. They still believed their scans were correct. Because Earth's ships didn't use regular power. They didn't glow. They didn't scream. They watched. Waited. Asterisk inside the alien war room. Commander Trell was trying to calm the chaos. The downed cruiser had shaken morale. Maybe it was a hidden gun, one officer said. Or a satellite, another added, trying to believe it. Trell held up a hand. We still hold position. Earth has no fleet. But just then, a voice cried out from the sensor room. Sir? Something just appeared behind us. Trell spun around. What do you mean? The young alien's voice trembled. I don't know. The stars just blinked. Above them, in orbit, a small alien patrol ship turned its camera toward the outer edge of the system. It saw space. Then, a piece of space moved. A massive shape drifted forward, too black to be natural. Asterisk. The patrol officer zoomed in. And for a second, he saw it, a ship, larger than anything in the Galactic Union. No lights, no ID. Just one symbol carved on its side burned into the armor. A red line through a silver earth. Terran fleet. The camera cut. Out. Commander Trell stared at the screen. Is this real? He whispered. His staff was frozen. One finally spoke. Sir, there are more. How many? She turned to him slowly. Too many. In deep space, Earth ships surrounded. The alien fleet, like silent wolves. Captain Dahlia Vorn received the signal. Targets marked. Coordinates locked. She gave the order. Hold fire. Let them feel us. Across the alien scanners, flickers began to appear. One ship here. Another there. A ripple. A shadow. Nothing solid, but enough to terrify. Inside the Galactic Council chamber, panic began to spread. Emergency messages came from Trell's fleet. Unknown ships, they're everywhere. Velrax shouted, How can this be? Our scans are tech, someone else whispered. They were never defenseless. Back on Earth, General Rourke watched it all unfold from a dark command room. He sipped coffee. An officer asked, "Should we attack?" Rourke shook his head. No. He stood, eyes fixed on the screen. Let them sit in fear. Let them feel watched. That's Phase 3. He leaned closer to the microphone and sent a signal. Just 2 words. Phase 4. Drift. In orbit. Earth's warships moved slowly into full view. No. Guns fired. No word spoken. But every ship turned to face the alien fleet. Dozens of dark giants. Perfectly still, aimed and ready. The message was clear. Earth was not just alive. Earth was ready. And somewhere in the cold silence, one alien whispered, "We should not have come." Asterisk, the alien fleet fired first. They didn't wait for orders. They didn't ask questions. They were afraid, and afraid. Soldiers make loud choices. From the lead destroyer, a blazing beam of violet energy shot forward straight toward Earth. It should have hit a city. It should have leveled mountains. But it didn't single quotes T. It struck something in the sky, something invisible, and it bounced off. The alien. Commander stared in shock. What was that? The beam just disappeared. No, it reflected. In Earth's command room, General Rourke watched the attack live. The beam had hit Earth's orbital cloak shield, a technology the aliens didn't even know existed. Rourke smiled coldly. "Record that," he said. An officer asked, "Should we return fire?" Rourke shook his head. "Not yet. Let them think. Let them doubt." Back in space, the alien fleet fell into confusion. They scrambled to scan the area again. New commands shouted. New formations set. Commander Trell barked. "Send 3 attack cruisers. Hit them before they cloak again." The 3 alien cruisers launched forward at full speed, ready to show strength. But they never reached their target, because Earth's ships were already waiting. Captain Dahlia Vorn, aboard the Erebus, gave the order, disable, not destroy. Her ship locked on to the first alien cruiser. One quick blast of blue pulse struck the engine section. Silent impact. The cruiser spun out of control. Powerless. Second shot. Same result. Third shot. Hit before. They even knew it was locked on. All 3 cruisers drifted in space, dead in seconds. No deaths. No debris. Just silence. Inside the alien fleet, terror bloomed like wildfire. Ships broke formation. Officers shouted over each other. One screamed, "We didn't even see them fire." Another cried, "They knew where we were before we moved." Commander Trell tried to hold order, but fear doesn't obey rank. A young pilot pulled his ship back without permission. 2 more followed. Now the fleet was breaking apart, and still Earth didn't fire again. They didn't need to. Far from the fight, the Galactic Council watched the video feed. The room was quiet, now not very quiet. Vel Rax, the same leader who had mocked Earth's warning, whispered, "This isn't war." "It's a message," someone answered. "They let us fire first." "They let us," another voice added. "They didn't destroy our ships. They disabled them. That's worse." The truth sank in like ice water. Earth was not fighting back. Earth was demonstrating. Meanwhile, on Earth, civilians still didn't know the full story. Only a few high-ranking leaders were aware of the battle above. To everyone else, the skies were quiet, but in secret control bunkers, the quiet was filled with tension. "General," a tech called out, "alien fleet is scattering, some turning around, others holding." General Rourke replied, "Good. Keep jamming their long-range comms. Make them feel alone." The tech hesitated. "Sir, are we going to wipe them out?" Rourke looked at the screen, at the broken formation, the drifting ships, the fear. "No, not yet. Let them think about it. Let the galaxy watch them lose their nerve." Up in orbit, The Erebus led the silent circle around the alien fleet. Earth ships still hadn't said a word, still hadn't announced their presence, still hadn't even flashed a warning light. They just hovered, watching, measuring, judging, like shadows with eyes. Commander Trell stood in his private quarters, staring at the screen. He no longer looked proud. He no longer looked strong. His hands shook. He opened a private log and whispered, "We came here to conquer a quiet world. We found shadows. They were waiting for us. And we gave them a reason to respond. We should have listened. We should have left." He paused, then added one last line. "If we survive, let this be a warning to every empire. Never assume silence means weakness. No orders were shouted. No drums were beaten. No war cry echoed in space. And yet, a battle had begun. It started the moment Earth's ships moved. Not fast, not loud, just a slow drift forward. Toward the alien fleet. Each Terran warship glided like a predator stalking in the dark. No signals. No noise. Just that deadly, silent movement. The aliens panicked. They tried to lock weapons. They tried to scan. But Earth ships did not allow it. One by one, alien systems failed. Their screens flickered. Their radars froze. And still no human spoke. Inside the Erebus, Captain Dahlia Vorn watched with sharp, calm eyes. "Weapons ready," her officer whispered. Dahlia didn't blink. "Fire only if they shoot. Let them feel the pressure." The Earth fleet continued drifting forward, forming a slow circle around the alien ships. The trap was nearly complete. One alien frigate tried to break the ring. The Erebus responded in silence. Just one flash of blue light, no sound, no warning. Frigate's engines died instantly. No explosion, just stillness, like death with no pain. On the alien command ship, Commander Trell stood frozen. He couldn't think. He couldn't breathe. All around him, his crew shouted questions. What are they doing? Why don't they talk? Are they toying with us? But Trell had no answers. All he could see was the truth. This was not a battle. This was a demonstration. Somewhere on a distant world, the Galactic Union's War Council received the footage. They had never seen anything like it. Dozens of dark ships moving in perfect silence, striking with precision, not destroying, just disabling. One commander whispered, "They're controlling the fear." Another added, "They're not just fighting. They're teaching." And that's when it hit them. Earth's silence wasn't weakness. It was strategy. Back on Earth, General Rourke stood in the shadowy control center. "Status of the fleet?" he asked calmly. "Surrounding phase complete," said a tech. "Alien fleet is scattered. 10 ships disabled. No counterfire from us." "Perfect," Rourke said. "Open line to the Erebus." A voice came through. "Captain Vorn here." "Time for them to hear us," Rourke said. "Just a message?" "Yes, just one sentence." Dahlia smiled slightly. "I know the one." She pressed a button. A clear signal was sent directly to the alien fleet's main frequency. For the first time in the entire battle, a human voice spoke. Calm, cold, clear. "Leave now, or none of you will leave at all." Then the channel closed. No threats. Number. Curses. Just truth. In the alien fleet, fear turned into full-blown terror. Many tried to jump away only to find their jump systems jammed. Others powered down weapons. Some even turned off their lights, hoping to be missed. But Earth's ships saw everything. They had always seen. And now, a galaxy knew. Inside one alien ship, a young pilot looked out the window. One of Earth's ships was right there floating close. It had no lights. No symbols. Just a long, black hull like a shadow made of metal. And on its front, the tiniest mark. A circle. A single dot at its center. The symbol of Earth. Simple. UNMOVING. Forgiving. The pilot whispered. They were never silent. We just never listened. In space, the standoff held. Earth's fleet didn't fire again. They didn't need to. Because the enemy was already broken. Not by weapons. Not by explosions. But by silence. By the kind of quiet that says, we were always stronger. We just didn't have to prove it. They expected anger. They expected revenge. But Earth gave them something far worse: control. The alien fleet floated helpless in orbit. Some ships were dark, some drifting, some too scared to move. And then it appeared. The Erebus turned slowly. Its full shape came into view. No more hiding. No more shadows. And as it moved, alien sensors picked up its true size. It was huge, almost the size of a small moon, covered in armor that didn't reflect light. A body that absorbed it. Alien officers gasped. That's not a ship. That's a weapon. Commander Trell stared at the growing image on his screen. No, it's a message. On the bridge of the Erebus, Captain Dahlia Vorn stood silently. She didn't need to speak. Her crew understood. Every move they made was watched now by the alien fleet, by the Galactic Union, by hundreds of systems beyond. One officer turned to her. They're listening now, Captain. Shall we give them the full broadcast? Dahlia nodded once. Begin. Across all known frequencies, every alien ship and every Galactic Union channel received a signal. This time, the screen showed a human woman, Ambassador Lena Morik, calm, straight-backed, eyes full of steel. She spoke slowly, clearly. You scanned our world. You assumed weakness. You fired the first shot. And we answered in silence. She leaned forward slightly. Earth is not a loud world. We do not shout. We do not threaten. But we do not lose. Then came the final line. We were quiet. Because we were ready. The screen faded to black. Inside the alien fleet, the message dropped like ice water on every bridge. Some tried to power down their systems. Others tried to send emergency messages back home. But most just sat still. Frozen. Silent. Because in those few words, they understood. Earth had waited for this moment. Earth had planned. And Earth had power none of them saw coming. Meanwhile, in the Galactic Council chamber, chaos broke loose. One member shouted, "We must recall our fleet." Another said, "We must apologize immediately." Velrax, the one who had laughed the loudest days ago, sat in silence now, his face pale, his pride shattered. He whispered to himself, "We scanned them, and we saw nothing, but they scanned us, and they saw everything." Back on Earth, General Rourke stood in the war room, watching alien signals disappear one by one. "They're retreating," a tech said. "No formation. Full panic." Rourke didn't smile. "Record everything. The galaxy will remember this." He turned and walked away. He didn't need to see the rest. He had already won. In space, Earth's warships didn't chase. They didn't destroy. They simply watched. Cold, calm, ships that had been hidden for decades, crews that had trained in silence, weapons that had never needed to fire. This wasn't just power. This was discipline. This was control. And it scared the galaxy more than any explosion ever could. Inside the Erebus, Captain Dahlia watched as the last enemy ship vanished into warp space. She said nothing for a long time, then she finally spoke. "Begin shutdown. Return to silent watch." Her officer blinked. "We're not following them?" "No," she said. "We've already told them everything they need to know." In the quiet corner of the universe, Earth had done the impossible. It had won a war without speaking a word too soon, and without firing a shot too late. And now the stars would remember. Not Earth's noise, but Earth's silence. Asterisk for days, the stars had been quiet. But now they whispered about Earth. Across the galaxy, people talked in low voices, in bars, in bunkers, in temples, in royal halls. The message had reached everyone. Earth had no fleet, no shields, no weapons. That's what they believed. But then Earth's ships came out of the void, silent, cold, terrifying, and without shouting, without chaos. They won. On a distant moon, a teacher told her students the story. She drew a simple circle on the wall, one dot in the center. This, she said, is Earth. A child raised her hand. Is that the planet? The teacher nodded. And what is the dot? She smiled. That's the warning. Back on Earth, life slowly returned to normal. People still walked to work, still bought coffee, still played music in the park's dot, but beneath the peace, Earth's leaders knew the truth. Everything had changed. The Erebus and her sister ships returned to their hiding places. The void gates were sealed once more, and the silence returned. But it wasn't the same silence as before. It was the silence of respect and fear. In a dark meeting room under the United Nations Tower, General Rourke met with Earth's top leaders. We did it without mass bloodshed, one of them said. That matters. Rourke didn't smile. We won because they thought we were nothing. They'll never think that again, another added. Rourke stood up. He looked out the window at the stars above. Let them remember us however they want, he said. But let them never forget this lesson. Earth may be quiet, but we are never unarmed. Far across the galaxy, in the halls of the once proud Galactic Council, silence filled the room. Val Rax, who had once called Earth a garden to pluck, now sat with eyes full of shame. He read the report again. Alien fleet attempted first strike. Earth responded with tactical silence. Losses, 0 Terran. Enemy retreat, 100%. And at the bottom, a single line added by the Council's AI recorder. Earth is now classified as a level 0 origin apex civilization. Do not engage, do not provoke. Watch, but do not touch. Meanwhile, in orbit above Mars, a new fleet quietly began to take shape. Human engineers built without noise. No parades. No celebration. Just quiet work. Because they knew this peace might not last forever. And next time? Next time Earth wouldn't wait to be underestimated. In the dark control room of the Erebus, Captain Dahlia Vorn stood alone. The stars blinked beyond the glass. She whispered to herself, we didn't roar with sound. We roared with silence. And somewhere, light years away, a young alien cadet looked up at a new star map. One part was circled in red. It had no warning label. Just a single word beside it, Earth. He leaned closer and asked, what's there? His commander didn't look at him. He just said, a lesson, a line you never cross, and a silence you never wake. Final line. Earth didn't need to scream. Because in silence, Earth made the galaxy listen. The end. Asterisk.